Namaste. A very warm welcome to one and all. On behalf of Team Vedant, I take this opportunity to welcome you all at India's biggest virtual conference organized by Vedant Knowledge Systems Private Limited. Sustainable Development Goals 2030, Bridging Gaps, Building Futures for Viksit Bharat at 2047, a multidisciplinary international virtual conference happening between 18 to 22nd February 2025. Let us begin the conference with the prayer in the lotus feet of Almighty. Sanandamanandavane vasantam Anandakandam Atpapavrindam Varanasina Thamanatanatham Sri Vishwanatham Sharanam Prapadde. As the visionary organizers of this 11th conference, Vedant Knowledge Systems Private Limited is committed to fostering intellectual discourse, innovation and societal progress. Team Vedant has humbly taken vision of Viksit Bharat as their mission, and the present conference is the third version of Viksit Bharat at 2047 theme conferences, touching thousands of youth and hundreds of educators from diverse institutions and disciplines. With a rich history of organizing impactful conferences and academic events, we believe in creating platforms that transcend boundaries and empower individuals with knowledge and resources. Since last 10 years, Team Vedant is serving to various spheres of education and research domain at national and international levels in various capacities and earn many feathers in its crown. 50 plus universities, 200 plus colleges and 50,000 plus individuals have been served through Vedant's meaningful interventions. The major objectives of organizing the present conference are to realize the vision of Viksit Bharat at 2047 by taking it into mission mode through building ecosystem for a sustainable development, holistic growth of youth and empowering larger communities. Another objective is to create platform for diverse scholars and practitioners to collaborate on multidisciplinary solutions addressing multiple SDGs. The next one is to explore how India's vision for Viksit Bharat 2047 aligns with global SDG agenda for 2030 and to promote innovative practices, policies and technologies to bridge gaps and build resilient, sustainable communities. As you all know, the world approaches 2030 deadline for achieving the sustainable development goals. It is crucial for India to not only contribute to this global endeavor but also to align it with its national vision of a Viksit Bharat, a developed and inclusive India, by marking its 100th anniversary happening in 2047. This international research conference seeks to foster cross-disciplinary discussions, engage diverse stakeholders and catalyze innovative solutions to accelerate progress towards the SDGs while preparing India for sustainable, inclusive and prosperous future. Kiskinda University, Karnataka is knowledge partner of the present conference. The conference is specially supported by Monarch University and Atmiya University. This conference is happening between 18th February 2025 to 22nd February 2025. Today we have with us Professor Shiv Govind Puriji to deliver keynote. Professor Shiv Govind Puriji is serving as professor at Department of English and Modern European Languages, University of Lucknow. He is a seasoned speaker and academic stalwart. He is serving national and state public service commissions along with his academic responsibilities. He is well known for his academic as well as research activities. Let us invite Professor Puri to deliver his talk to us.
Okay, myself is Professor Shiv Govind Puri, and I am going to deliver a plenary session for a conference which is in the virtual mode. And the name of this virtual conference is India's biggest virtual conference, Sustainable Development Goals 2030, Bridging Gaps, Building Futures for Viksit Bharat 2047. This is a multidisciplinary international virtual conference, and this seminar is being organized by Vedant Knowledge Systems Private Limited. And under this seminar, which would be seminar cum conference, which would be here for the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. Here I want to focus on a few things of this conference, which is all about is basically related to the our nation building. The aim of this conference is to give a potential for our country, especially to youth and to common people, so that they can give a kind of somewhere a kind of strength to our country. As we know, this mission of our sustainable development is focused on certain things, as they are peace, poverty, and the people and planet. This mission was also, the same mission was also adopted by our United Nations in 2015, and some of the issues are very prevalent in the present scenario also, as our government of India has also worked a lot on this mission, and they are still working in the same direction, so that the development of our country can be made not in one day, but it would be in a sustainable manner. Gradually we will make a very good country where country would be developed in all the, branches of the life, and this would be like, for our, future directions would also be set by them. Now we have certain challenges in our country like environment, climate change, and, some other issues are very, pertinent. So how would we, face all those challenges in the future is a great issue. So as our government of India and our Prime Minister is also working on it, and he is also thinking about this mission, and they want to put certain changes in our system so that the future of our country would be better, and our youth would also be able to strengthen themselves by doing some actions. What are those actions? Actions like, some of them are here to be, taken care of, like, we have to preserve our natural resources like our water, our rivers, and our, forest, and to many more things which are given by our nature, and it is easily available to everyone. But this is also our responsibility, and as well as the dire need of the time, to protect them for our future development. And also we have some indigenous, you may say, kind of the strength which we do have for our nation. And how, and the our aim of this mission is to empower them. Like we have some youth in our country, and how can we skill them, give some, so that we can empower them in the different directions, so that they would be able to stand on their own feet, and they would also be able to work for the country, work for themselves, and work for the common citizen. So this way, if you are empowering the people, not in one way but to many ways, like if you want to develop our country, you have to work like this. First of all, you have to understand, target the group, and you have also to think this particular group is is very privileged, yeah, is you may say, related to this particular field. So we have to think about them, how can we change them, and how can we give a better environment so that the change can be made, and change can also be possible. I want to refer here one of the agendas of our country, which was set some decades ago, but I think those agendas have not been completed yet. So many works are here under the way that would be taken care of, like clean water, women empowerment, well-being of all. All these issues are very pertinent here, and our Prime Minister has also thought about it very seriously, and he is also doing work in this direction, and I am very sure that our Prime Minister's idea and his mission would be successful, but for which we people, country people, should also work a lot in the same direction, and we have to empower, strengthen our youth, as well as also we have to stand by our Prime Minister, so that this mission can get some success. And this is also a mission of this sustainable development, to give empowerment not to one of the kinds of the people, to across the cultures. We have to think about it, and we have also to think, how can we make it you may say possible in all the cultures, races, genders, and to many more things. And we have not to be specific to any one of the agendas. We have to be neutral, and not to be any one of the agendas to be taken like we are very gender specific, yeah, we are certain caste community, class, creed community. We have not to think about them. We are the people of this country, so we have to work like kutumbakam, vasudhaiva kutumbakam's sentiments. As our Prime Minister has also said, this is our country, and we have to think about 140 crores people, and all the people are equal, and we have to think about them, how to take them from grassroots level to some better extent. And this is also goal of our our youth. He is also, our Prime Minister is also working on gender equality, life and land, peace and prosperity. The goals are challenging but very pertinent in the present scenario. We are setting our agenda for 2030. So some of the questions can be asked from ourselves. Why do we set agenda for 2030? Actually, this is agenda. We have to divide our time, and we have to think in piecemeal. First of all, we have to thinking we will make our agenda for 5 years. Thereafter, we'll make a agenda for again 5 years, so that our development, our issues can be checked, and can also we think introspect our development, how much we have done our work, and we can also take feedback from our people. So this agenda is for 10 years, and after again 10 years we have to think about it. And I am very sure, if we are thinking in this direction, this Viksit Bharat, developed country's mission will be successful with the help of every citizen of this country. In our country, as we have seen that so many challenges are there, as well as we have also, you may say, different kind of the issues. Some of them are of our cultural barriers, and some of the situations are like, we are also in a different diversity of our culture is also there. So this is, I think this is kind of our asset, and we have to use this asset. How can we take it forward, and how can we maximize it, our benefit, by doing all those actions. Likewise, suppose that we have to think in the environment direction. How can we preserve our environment, can make a better life by doing some kind of the act, like as our previous government has also said about it. You have to think about so many rivers are in our country.
Thank you very much, Professor Shiv Govind Puri sir. It was really very enriching session. The organizing team of Vedant Knowledge Systems Private Limited is really grateful to you for this wonderful talk and your precious time. Thank you very much. Dear participants and friends, let me introduce Professor Dr. Shaveta Bhatia, our today's keynote speaker. Professor Dr. Shaveta Bhatia is serving as the Director, Center for Distance and Online Education with MRIIRS. She is an accomplished academician and researcher with a PhD in computer science and MCA degree. Her expertise spans mobile computing, web application development, database management systems, and networking, contributing to advancements in these domains. With a strong research background, Dr. Bhatia has authored over 36 research papers and got published in renowned conferences and journals. She has also published 2 books, furthering enriching the academic and professional landscape. As an active member of ACM and CSI, Dr. Bhatia remains engaged in global computing advancements. She serves as an editor and reviewer for various esteemed journals, ensuring high research quality and scholarly contributions. Dedicated to teaching, research and innovation, Professor Dr. Shaveta Bhatia continues to mentor students and professionals while significantly contributing to the field of computer science and engineering. Let us invite Professor Dr. Shaveta Bhatia to talk to us.
Good morning, everyone. This is Professor Dr. Shaveta Bhatia, Director of Online Education, Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies. Today, in this conference, we are talking about sustainability. Sustainability is a word that we'll listen at various forums today, or we can say it's a hot topic. Sustainable development is actually a method of societal growth by addressing present needs while without affecting the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Actually, it emphasizes a harmonious balance between economic progress, environmental preservation, and social well-being. The objective is to build a society where resources and living standards sustain human needs while safeguarding the planet's health. Now, one very important word here that is we called planet's health. It is just an interdisciplinary field that shows how human activities affect the planet and how that affects the human health. That means this is vice versa. If we are destroying the planet, automatically we are destroying ourselves. Now we are here talking about sustainability. Sustainability aligns with the 2030 agenda to promote global sustainability. The SDI also highlights the need for sustainability reporting, helping all of the countries to plan and monitor their progress. We are talking about both developed and developing countries. The Human Development Index forms the base of the Sustainable Development Index. So, in the coming slides, we are talking about the second sustainable goal, that is zero hunger, although we have 17 sustainable goals, right? So come to the slides where we are talking about the second sustainable goal. Now, when we talk about the sustainable goals, by United Nations, 17 sustainable development goals are set, that are no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, and life below water and life on land. So, what is the purpose? The purpose of global sustainability to highlight the need for sustainability reporting, helping countries to plan and monitor their progress. We are talking about the both developed and developing countries. The Human Development Index forms the base of this Sustainable Development Index, right? So, these are the 17 goals which we need to follow, and out of these 17 goals, we are now talk about a second goal, that is we call zero hunger. Goal 2 is all about creating a world free of hunger by 2030. The global issue of hunger and food insecurity has shown an alarming increase since 2015, a trend exacerbated by a combination of factors including the pandemic, conflict, climate change, and deepening inequalities. By 2022, approximately 735 million people, or we can say 9.2% of the world's population, found themselves in a state of chronic hunger, a staggering rise compared to 2019. This data underscores the severity of the situation, revealing a growing crisis. In addition, we can say that an estimated 2.4 billion people faced moderate to severe food insecurity in 2022. This classification signifies their lack of access to sufficient nourishment. This number accelerated by an alarming 391 million people compared to 2019. So, all of you know that we all are watching our cities, our villages day by day. Few of the people who are getting a very, very good nourishment, but many people who are not even getting a proper food that is required for their 3 times, right? So, this is an alarming situation of, we can say, zero hunger, which we want to achieve by 2030. Now, what is the aim of SDG Goal 2? The aim of SDG Goal 2 is to end the hunger and ensure access to nutritious food. What a little kid is taking, what he is eating, that is very, very important for his mental and physical growth, right? End hunger, achieve food security and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture, right? It is very much required to improve food production systems globally to support small-scale farmers and equitable food distribution. The most important thing is that the food distribution should be equally among the rurals and the urban areas, so that each and every child, each and every human, each and every woman, each and every man can get the proper food supply with the nutritious value. Now, the point here is that why hunger persists in the 21st century. We are still far from a world without malnutrition. 144 million children under 5 are stunned. That means they are too short as per their age. 47 million children under 5 are wasted. That means they are too thin for their height. And 38 million children under 5 are overweight. So, what are the reasons for this? We need to understand that the reason are such as climate change in impacting the agriculture. Too much of heat, too much of cold affecting the agriculture. There is change in the monsoons. Then economic inequality lead to food inaccessibility. Some people have good number of resources, some people have bad number of resources, and economically they are not well, right? political instability and conflicts distributing supply chains. The main point is that our political parties who are fighting between each other, they are not taking care of this major issue, and food waste and insufficient in distribution system. You know that all of us know that at our homes also we are wasting too much of food, and there are the people who are not even getting a food for a single time, whether in the morning or evening or in the afternoon. And few of the people, few of the children, few of the families who are wasting a lot of food, which is very, very bad. This aligns with the 2030 agenda to promote global sustainability. The SDI also highlights the need for sustainability reporting, helping the countries to plan and monitor their progress. We are talking about both developed and developing countries. The Human Development Index HEI forms the base of the Sustainable Development Index. Now, if we go through this slide, we can see that most of the people who are from a good economic background are throwing the food, are wasting too much of food. And on the other side, the people who are not even getting their normal meals, they are eating the waste food. Even animals are also eating the waste food. Now, this is the responsibility of each and every citizen to not to waste the food, to donate the food, to provide help to the other people who are economically very weak. Now, the kids who are not getting the proper nourishment, who is responsible for that? So, it is the responsibility of each and everyone to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. It is required to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Then we talk about zero hunger in India. According to the 2022 Global Hunger Index, India ranks 107 out of 121 countries with a moderate hunger score of 28.2. This means that around 224.3 million people in India are undernourished. The prevalence of stunting among the children under 5 years of age is also very high at 31.7%. Stunting is a chronic form of malnutrition that can have irreversible consequences for a child's physical and cognitive development. Now, the point here is that what are the key targets of SDG Goal 2, that is zero hunger? End hunger and malnutrition. Double the agriculture productivity of small-scale farmers. Agriculture productivity is the very important concepts which can help the rural areas and the farmers to give a good, facilities, food facilities to their children, to their wives, to the women and the women. Ensure sustainable food production systems. Maintain genetic diversity of crops and livestock. Quality of crops is very important here to provide the full nourishment to people. Invest in rural infrastructure and agriculture research. Agriculture research is very important point here in order to improve the condition of the people who are suffering from hunger. What are the challenges that we are facing to achieve zero hunger? First is the increased population. Government has to take a very strict actions to manage the increased population, to provide all the resources, food resources and other resources to so much of population. Right? Secondly, as a climate change. Sometimes there is lot of heat, sometimes there is lot of cold, and it affects the agriculture. To maintain the agriculture, to enhance the agriculture is very important. Then another point which we have also discussed earlier, that is the wastage of food by all of the people. Then the major point is air pollution and water pollution. All of ourselves in India are polluting our rivers, are polluting our air with our day-to-day activities, which we need to improve. And then the major concern is about the increased food prices. The people who are economically very weak, they are not able to buy the food. They are not able to provide the proper nourishment to their kids, which needs to be taken care by the government. Now we are talking about the government initiatives. What are the government initiatives taken by the Indian government to improve the zero hunger, to achieve the zero hunger. The National Food Security Act, which provides subsidized food grains to over 800 million people. The Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, which provides cash benefits to the pregnant and lactating women. The Integrated Child Development Services Scheme, which provides nutritious food and other services to children under 6 years of age and their mothers. These are the few initiatives which are taken by the government to achieve zero hunger. Then, what are the strategies for food security? Promoting climate smart agriculture. Agriculture should be taken care dependent because agriculture is mostly dependent upon the climate. Reducing food wastage through better logistics. This should be taken care by each and every citizen of the country. Encouraging sustainable farming practices, which is very much required. Expanding access to nutritious and affordable food, strengthening global food supply chains. Now the point is that what is the role of technology in food security? Use of AI and big data farming, precision agriculture and smart irrigation, biotechnology for drought-resistant crops, blockchain for transparent food supply chains, digital platforms connecting farmers to markets. This is an era of digital marketing. This is an era of AI. This is an era of biotechnology. These all technology can help us to improve the food security methods, right? Then, if I'll talk about the case studies of various countries, Brazil, zero hunger program, reducing malnutrition. Then we will talk about India, public distribution system for food security. Rwanda, agricultural transformation, boosting productivity, and China, lifting millions out of poverty through food programs. Right? These are the various case studies which are going on. Then, what are the efforts taken by United Nations? UN, World Food Programme, Emergency Food Aid, which is running, FAO initiatives for sustainable agriculture, global partnerships like C40 cities tackling food waste, the scaling up nutrition movement. What is the role of individuals and communities, which I was earlier talking about, reducing food wastage at home, which is very, very important, supporting local farmers and sustainable brands, advocating for policies that address hunger, and volunteering in food donation programs. If we all citizens of India, all people will take care of these things, we can take care of water pollution, we can take care of air pollution. By taking care of our own daily activities, we can take care of food wastage that can help the many other people who are not getting the proper water, who are not getting the proper food, who are not getting the proper accommodation. We are the people that can help the government to maintain the sustainability and to achieve the target of 2030. What should be our future roadmap? Investing in agriculture and infrastructure, expanding access to food and nutrition programs, strengthening global cooperation and trade policies, and leveraging technology and innovation for efficiency. These are the major targets we need to follow. And what is a call of action? Supporting food donation programs and charities, promote sustainable food choices, advocate for hunger eradication policies, educate and raise awareness in communities. The most important thing is that we need to create the communities who can help to achieve the targets. Right? We will also require to follow the energy consumption. We can use wind energy, we can use solar energy rather than uses this petrol and another non-renewable resources. We can use renewable resources. Now let's come to the conclusion for today. These sustainable goals aim to create a sustainable, inclusive and equitable future for all by 2030. In the latest Sustainable Development Report, India ranks 112th out of 166 countries in the terms of progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals Index. India's score on the SDG index of 63.45 indicating moderate progress need to work more. Now, achieving SDG Goal 2 in India is essential for the country's sustainable development. A well-nourished population is more productive and has a better quality of life. The government, civil society organizations, and the private sector all need to work together to make this goal a reality. Here are some specific actions that can be taken to accelerate progress towards SDG 2 in India. First, we can say increase investment in agriculture and rural development. This will help to boost agricultural production and create jobs in the rural areas. Second, we can say improve access to nutritious food for vulnerable populations. This can be done through programs such as NFSA and PMMVY, right, and others. Third, reduce food wastage and loss, which we have discussed in the slides. Food wastage and loss is a major problem in India, accounting for up to 40% of food production. Then, by reducing food wastage and loss, more food will be available for the people to consume. Comes to the next point, that is promote sustainable agricultural practices. This will help to ensure that India's food production is resilient to climate change and other shocks. Other aspect is of educating the people about the importance of nutrition. This will help the people to make informed choices about the food, what they eat. By taking all of these actions and other actions that has been said by the government, all the activities that can be taken by us, India can make significant progress towards achieving SDG 2 goals and ensuring that all of its citizens have access to safe, nutritious and sufficient food all year around. So listeners, this is for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Shaveta Bhatia, for your very enriching and enlightening keynote talk. The Team Vedant is really grateful to you for your all time and contributions. Thank you. Thank you. Today with us we have Professor Dr. Yashmin Sharma to deliver a plenary talk. Professor Yashmin Sharma is an esteemed nursing educator and researcher with extensive experience in teaching, supervision and quality assurance. Currently, she is serving as professor at Choithram College of Nursing, Indore. She plays a pivotal role in institutional administration, quality assurance and academic mentoring. She has guided numerous students, served as a postgraduate research supervisor and contributed to curriculum development as well as faculty training programs. A distinguished academic, she has received multiple awards for her research, including first prizes in national and international conferences. Her scholarly contributions include publications in reputed journals and participated in research on nursing education, patient safety and public health. She is actively engaged in professional organizations and has chaired various academic sessions at conferences. With a commitment to excellence in nursing education, Professor Sharma continues to make a significant impact in the field of academia and healthcare. Let's invite Professor Sharma to talk to us.
Greetings of the day. I'm delighted and honored to be here today and thankful to the organizers to give me opportunity to be a part of India's biggest virtual multidisciplinary international conference on Sustainable Development Goals 2030, Bridging Gaps, Building Futures for a Viksit Bharat 2047. Before we dive into today's discussion, allow me to introduce myself. I am Professor Yashmin Sharma, currently serving as Professor and IQAC Coordinator at Choithram College of Nursing with over a 13 years of experience in education and community health. I am deeply committed to fostering innovation, sustainability, and impactful learning experience. My journey has shown me that education plays a transformative role in societal development. And I'm happy to share insight today about our collective responsibility in achieving the SDGs. The topic I bring before you today holds the key to our collective future, the key opportunities and guidance on roles and responsibilities of educational institution, teachers, youth, and other stakeholders in achieving the SDG goals. The SDGs adopted by the United Nations in 2015 present a blueprint for ending poverty, protecting our planet, and ensuring peace and prosperity for all by 2030. These 17 goals range from eradicating hunger and poverty to achieving gender equality and fostering global partnership for development. And while that may sound ambitious, as Nelson Mandela famously said, it always seems impossible until it's done. Today, I invite you to explore how educational institutions, teachers, youth, and stakeholders can form a powerful alliance to drive progress toward these visionary goals. Let's begin by talking about educational institutions. These are hubs for learning, innovation, and transformations. They have a unique opportunity to integrate SDG focused curricula that emphasize sustainable living, environmental awareness, and social justice. Imagine a university that operates as a living lab for sustainability where students not only learn about renewable energy but actively participate in projects to implement solar power on campus. A compelling example is Teri School of Advanced Studies in India, which has made sustainability a cornerstone of its academic programs by embedding SDG principle into coursework. Students gain first-hand experience in tackling real-world issues such as climate change and water conservation. Such institutions become incubator for sustainable solutions, shaping future leaders who understand the value of harmony between development and environmental stewardship. Educational institutions can also lead by example through green campus initiative, installing rainwater harvesting systems, switching to solar power, and promoting waste segregation are just a few steps that demonstrate a commitment to sustainability. These practices not only reduce the ecological footprint of campuses but also serve as educational tools for students. Equally critical to these missions are teachers. As facilitators of knowledge, they play a pivotal role in raising awareness, fostering critical thinking, and leading by example. UNESCO research shows that education can reduce poverty by 30% when combined with other targeted measures. Imagine a science teacher in Finland asking students to design water conservation system as part of their project work. Such lessons are not only impart practical knowledge but also make students understand the urgency of global issue. In India, initiatives like eco clubs encourage students to participate in activities that promote biodiversity conservation, reduce pollution, and adopt sustainable practices. Through such exposure, young minds naturally develop an environmental consciousness. When students are encouraged to solve real world problems, they begin thinking like innovators. Schools that facilitates debates about sustainable agriculture enable students to challenge outdated system and dream up better alternatives. A remarkable case in the Barefoot College in Rajasthan, India, where rural women are trained to become solar engineer. What started as an education institution that has illuminated more than 750 villages. It is a testament to how impactful education can be beyond classroom walls. Teacher can guide students in adopting sustainable habit from energy conservation to recycling and community services. Through mentorship, they instill value of responsibility, empathy, and global citizenship, preparing students to be a problem solver and change maker. Now, with educators and institutions setting the foundation, it's time for youth, the heartbeat of change, to take the lead. Young people aren't just passive learners, they are leading the charge towards a more sustainable future. Let me introduce you to the Gitanjali Rao, a teenager recognized by Time magazine as Kid of the Year for invention a device that detects lead in drinking water. Her story shows us that innovation knows no age. Similarly, in Kenya, young farmers are leveraging mobile technology to improve agriculture productivity by tracking weather patterns and market prices. These innovations contribute directly to SDG goal to zero hunger. We cannot talk about youth without mentioning Great Thunberg, whose Fridays for Future movement mobilized millions across more than 150 countries. Her action reminds us that even one voice can spark global change. Close to home, in India, groups like Youth for Climate India have organized mass awareness campaigns and climate strikes urging policymakers to adopt sustainable practices. Consider the viral Thrash Tag Challenge, where young people clean up polluted areas and share stunning before and after pictures online. This simple act showcases the collective power of youth. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok are now filled with content from eco conscious youth sharing sustainable living tips, thereby amplifying the awareness. In Kenya, youth involved in the Yes Youth Can initiatives are leading peace building efforts and fostering civic engagement, showing that young people can mobilize their peers for a meaningful social impact. These stories remind us that youth aren't waiting for permission to lead, they are already taking bold steps to transform our world. To further illustrate the transformative power of youth, think of Malala, a symbol of resilience and courage. Despite facing threats, Malala continued to advocate for girls' education worldwide. Her story exemplifies how one individual, fueled by determination and a commitment to justice, can mobilize the world for a greater cause. But for these ideas to take root and thrive, youth and educators need the support of stakeholders like government, business, and civil society. Stakeholders are essential in creating an environment where sustainable development can flourish. Policy matters. Costa Rica is a shining example, generating over 99% of its electricity for renewable sources. This success didn't happen by chance but through visionary policy making. Close to home, India's national solar mission has paved the significantly reduce the country's carbon footprint. Businesses also play a crucial role. Companies like Tesla and Unilever are setting the bar high by embracing sustainable practices. In fact, the World Economic Forum estimated that adopting sustainability models could unlock 12 trillion in market opportunity. In India, Tata Group has undertaken numerous sustainability initiatives, including using recycled material in manufacturing and supporting clean energy projects. The Barefoot College mentioned earlier highlight the transformative power of grassroots organizations by empowering marginalized community CSOs bridge critical gaps. Another example is Greenpeace promotion and environmental conservation by engaging communities and lobbying policymakers. Civil society organization also play a vital role in advocacy and awareness. Take for example the Chipko movement, where rural women in India hugged tree to prevent deforestation. These grassroots movements not only protected the environment but also empowered women to take charge of their natural resources. One powerful example in the Solar Sister program, which provide clean energy across Africa. This initiative proves the collaboration across border amplifies local effort when stakeholders work hand in hand with educators and youth. They create a support system that derives meaningful change. As Mahatma Gandhi famously said, be the change that you wish to see in the world. To achieve the SDGs, educational institutions must continue to innovate and lead. Teachers must inspire and mentor. Youth must innovate and lead boldly. And stakeholders must provide the resources and policies needed for success. Let's envision a classroom where students learn by doing, building solar panels and calculating carbon footprints. Imagine a community where youth organize cleanup drives and advocate for green policy. Picture a world where businesses thrive while caring for the planet. This future is possible, but it requires all of us to act. Educational institutions need to step beyond conventional teaching. Youth must embrace their role as leaders, and stakeholders must provide platforms and resources for this effort to flourish. We must foster collaboration between these groups to ensure lasting impact. Governments should encourage public private partnerships to drive innovation. Schools and colleges must incorporate SDGs focused education institutions and the activities into their curriculums. Communities should come together to share knowledge and resources. When all hands are on deck, we create ripple effect that turns isolated effort into powerful waves of transformation. Together, we hold the power to share a sustainable, equitable, and prosperous future for generations to come. Let's be the change markers our world needs. I also want to share our institutional initiative. I belong to Choithram Institute, which encompasses a diverse set of 5 educational institutes, including IB, Central, and State Board School, as well as higher educational institutions and a hospital. As we discussed about the stakeholder roles in achieving SDGs goal, I would like to highlight the Choithram Institution is an active partner of the Indore Climate Mission, one of our proudest initiative in India's 100 days carbon challenge in Indore, which focuses on reduce emission and driving meaningful climate change, spearheaded by the Indore Municipal Corporation and Energy Swaraj Foundation. This pioneering mission aims to establish Indore as a global leader in climate action by focusing on greenhouse gas reduction, energy conservation, and fostering sustainable practices among citizens. Through widespread awareness campaigns and active community engagement, the mission endeavors to safeguard the environment for future generations. Our institution actively engages students and staff to take part in this mission, fostering a hands-on approach to sustainability. For instance, our school and colleges organize workshops on renewable energy and sustainable living practices, ensuring that even the youngest learner understand their role in addressing climate changes. We believe in the transformative power of education, a belief best captured by Margaret Mead's timeless word. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizen can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. To conclude, let me leave you with a powerful take home message. Each one of us, regardless of our role, can contribute to a better and more sustainable world. The choices we make today, whether in classroom, boardroom, or community, we determine the future we live for generations to come. As Helen Keller said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. By embracing collective responsibility and fostering innovation, collaboration, and inclusivity, we can turn the ambitious vision of the Sustainable Development Goals into reality. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Sharma, for your beautiful talk, invaluable time and the wise words. The organizing team of Vedant Knowledge Systems is really grateful to you for gracing this conference. Thank you. Dear friends, do you know it is always heartening for the conference organizers to have special guests to grace and bless the event. Today with us we have Dr. Amirta Singh. She would be delivering her talk as our guest speaker. Dr. Amirta Singh is serving as Principal, Parul Institute of Business Administration, Parul University, Vadodara. She is passionate educator with expertise in marketing and marketing research. She is dedicated to fostering a dynamic learning environment and inspiring students through innovative teaching methods. She is a published researcher with focus on sensory marketing, contributing to the academic community in terms of her research publications, research deliberations and academic expertise. She is committed to mentoring and guiding students in their academic and professional development. Let's listen to Dr. Singh.
Namaste, I am Dr. Amirta Singh, Principal, Parul Institute of Business Administration, Vadodara, Gujarat. And I am honored to be a part of India's biggest virtual multidisciplinary international conference on Sustainable Development Goals 2030. Bridging Gaps, Building Futures for Viksit Bharat 2047. Sustainable development is not just a global necessity, but a national imperative for India as we strive towards Viksit Bharat 2047. An India that is a developed, inclusive and sustainable. With a population of 1.4 billion, India's role in achieving SDG is critical, not just for the country, but for the world. The Sustainable Development Goal (SDGs) adopted by United Nations in 2015 aim to address the global challenges like poverty, inequality, health, climate change, and sustainable economic growth by 2030. India ranks 112 out of 166 countries in the 2013 SDG Index, showing a progress in some areas but highlighting the urgent gaps. These gaps will be fulfilled by three collaborative efforts. All these three pillars of the societies are educators, youth and stakeholders. Educators, one who shape the young minds and drive awareness. Youth, who are the driving force of innovation and action. Stakeholders, including in government, business and civil societies, who provide support and policy framework. So I'll discuss the points one by one. Let us talk about the role of educators. Role of educators are building a foundation for sustainable India. Education is the foundation of progress. In India, the National Education Policy NEP 2020 emphasizes on integration of sustainability, critical thinking and digital learning, aligning with SDG 4 quality education. However, the challenge remains. India has 260 million students, but according to ASER Annual Status of Education Report 2023, Only 40% of the rural student in class 5 can read basic English. While 90% of Indian students are aware of climate change, only 35% understand the sustainability solutions. UNESCO 2022 data. So how educators can drive the change? So first of all, integration of SDGs into curriculum. Schools and universities should incorporate the real world case studies on sustainability. For example, IIT Madras have Green Campus Initiative, teaches student about renewable energy and waste management. Experiential and community-based learning, practical exposure in essentials like Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship provides youth hands-on learning on rural development. Technology-enabled education, e-learning platform like Diksha, Swayam, PM eVidya help students to access quality education. Kerala's Little Kite initiative has trained 1 lakh students in digital learning and sustainability. Ethical leadership and sustainable thinking. Schools and colleges should instill values of sustainability and ethical leadership in India. Gujarat environment education programs make sustainability course mandatory in schools. Educators are the national builders, and through awareness, innovation and practical learning, they can create a generation of responsible citizens for Viksit Bharat. Now, second point I will talk about is role of youth. So, role of youth is Indian demographic dividend for SDG 2030. India has the largest youth population in the world, over 600 million people under the age of 25. This gives once in a generation opportunity to drive SDG based reforms. However, according to Niti Aayog, SDG Index 2013, India faces some challenges. 60.4% of the youth between 15 to 24 ages are unemployed. 40% of India's population still lacks digital access. Gender inequality remains high, and only 25% of Indian women in the workforce is in the workforce, which is their SDG 5. How youth can drive SDG implementations? So, youth-led advocacy and awareness. Friday Futures for India, a student-led movement, has organized climate protests over 50 cities in India. Digital activism on the platform of Instagram and Twitter has mobilized millions of environmental causes. Then sustainable entrepreneurship. Youth entrepreneurs can build eco-friendly solutions like aligned with SDGs. Example is the Fool.com, a company Indian startup which recycle the temple flowers into biodegradable products, which supports the SDG 12 of responsible consumption. We have Zip Electrics, an Indian startup which promotes electric mobility, reducing the carbon emission. Then skill development for green economy. Government programs like Skill India and Startup India encourage youth participation in renewable energy, agri-tech and waste management. Delhi Rozgar 2.0 link youth with green jobs. Youth in governance and policy making. More young people should participate in climate policy discussion and grassroots governance. Say, for example, YCAN, Youth for Climate Action Network in India, provides policy recommendation to government. If 600 million youth can take action today, we can transform nation into a global leader in sustainability. Now, I'll talk about the third point, which is the role of stakeholders in enabling an SDG-driven ecosystem. Government policies, business, and civil societies must work together to create a sustainable solution. According to Niti Aayog, India requires $2.6 trillion annually to fulfill the implementation of SDGs. Key areas where stakeholders can drive SDG process: government policies and public investments. Jal Jeevan Mission has provided clean drinking water to 130 million rural households. PM Kusum Yojana promotes solar energy in agriculture, reducing the carbon emission. National Hydrogen Mission aims to make India a global leader in green energy. Then corporate social responsibilities and industry collaboration. India and top 500 companies have invested rupees 26,000 crore in CSR project in 2022. Much of it is in education and sustainability. Reliance Foundation Educators for All. Reliance Foundation has an initiative, Education for All, which provides scholarship to thousands of unprivileged students. Then public-private partnership. Collaboration between academia and industry and government is essential. Microsoft of AI for Earth program in India help track deforestation and pollution. Sustainable finance and green investment. India issued its first green bond worth rupees 16,000 crore in 2013, funding renewable energy projects. Yes Bank also have green bond, has funded the green bonds $250 million in renewable energy projects. Stakeholders must move beyond policy declaration and into action-oriented strategies for sustainable and inclusive growth. So in conclusion, the path of Viksit Bharat 2047 is not an option. 2047 achieving SDG 2030 is not an option. It is necessary. It is necessity. India's 4,000 universities, 600 million youth and growing industries leadership must work together to ensure sustainable progress. Educators can empower students with SDG knowledge and skills. Youth must lead advocacy and innovation in entrepreneurship. Stakeholders must ensure financial, technical and policy support for long. If we act now, by 2047, we can transform the India into a global leader in sustainability, a Viksit Bharat that is equitable, innovative and future ready. Let us commit ourselves in action today for a brighter future.
Thank you Amrita Madam for your very interesting talk. Vedant Knowledge Systems is really grateful to you for your time and this valuable talk. Thank you madam. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep and miles to go before I sleep. To justify this vote of thanks journey is very important, and we are together traveling towards Viksit Bharat and witnessing this India's biggest virtual conference for 5 days. Vedant Knowledge Systems Private Limited and all stakeholders of it are feeling honored to host you all in India's biggest virtual conference addressing Sustainable Development Goals 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047. It is indeed pleasure to have graceful presence of esteemed guests, esteemed speakers, experts, session chairs and dear participants. We would like to thank one and all participated in this event, directly, indirectly, for being with us in this beautiful event. We would like to thank our mentors, advisors, esteemed experts, all the dear participants, knowledge partner institutions, leaders of our nation and leaders from education sector, directors of Vedant Knowledge Systems and all the stakeholders of this event for your time, contributions and all love. Thank you all. Thank you for being with us in this journey. Thank you.